All right, guys, today we have a very special show. We have two of the MAGA Boomers from the Jubilee show. This is Shiva Bagheri and then Emilio Martinez. He is not wearing his freedom shirt today.
No, I don't wear it. That's a costume.
You don't walk around?
I don't walk around in it. It's
in your
a costume.
freedom t-shirt? Every time I see you, you're wearing it.
When I'm out in public performing. As the Emilio.
So you're performing everywhere but here now.
Yeah, this is
We're getting the real Emilio.
This is this is backstage Emilio. Not that character, the Emilio show that plays out in the political theater.
All right. Okay. Well, today we're going to talk about their experiences in the latest Jubilee episode with Luke Beasley. Starting out with Shiva. Shiva, they didn't get a chance to talk about who they are, so we're going to start out with that. Shiva, tell us a bit about who you are, some of the activism that you do.
Okay. My name is Shiva Bagheri. I am the founder of the Beverly Hills Freedom Rally that started in 2020 when they started locking down our businesses and our religious organizations. And then they started doing the masking, and then they started pushing the jibby jab, the Fauci ouchie.
Yeah.
And so we were against all of that tyranny. And so we pushed back, had rallies, and they got really, really big. By the end of 2020, thousands and thousands of people showed up. And I became a big target for the left. Mm-hmm. And through that process, I decided to run for city council of Beverly Hills. There was 11 candidates, and I was somewhere in the middle, which is good for a first time. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot. And then I ran for state assembly, and there was another Republican, Stefan Hohill, and he beat me by 100 votes.
Wow.
So I didn't go to the general election, and I'll make sure next time I put myself on a slate. I thought someone else was going to do it for me, and then that didn't happen. So that could have been the 100 votes right there, is not having that slate delivered to everybody. And being where Steve Garvey's name was on that too. So, people... They're not very bright, these voters here in California, sadly, because I had people say, but didn't Steve Garvey endorse the other guy because he was on a slate? And I said, that doesn't mean he endorsed him. They just both paid for that slate.
Yeah.
But, sadly, the voters are just not, I wouldn't say not smart. They're just not educated. I wasn't educated about this stuff either. I'm learning. It's a learning process. So that's the wrong word to use.
Yeah.
But they are not educated when it comes to stuff like that. They see a name and then it's right. His name was right underneath it. Mm-hmm. And they thought he endorsed.
They were together.
Yeah, they were together.
That's like when they think the first Republican is is like the official Republican.
It's getting the most votes.
The second one on the ballot is like a...
Oh, really? Is that how people think sometimes when they vote on the primaries?
Probably.
Yeah, when people vote, they just,
Remember Trump?
Not the most educated
you had to
voters.
click
You
a
had
button.
to go to another page.
Yeah, they made it real difficult to vote for him here in California.
Totally.
Yeah.
And now I am the chair of AD 51, and I was appointed a delegate through my friend who beat me by 100 votes.
Well,
nice. Well, at least
at the end of the
I
day,
gave him a Prada, high five for that,
Yeah.
And he gave me a cool little gavel too, so I'll give him that.
That's nice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, Emilio, some of your background?
So, yes, I also ran for office, but again, it was a little bit of performance art.
So you ran for office as performance art?
Kind of, yeah. In fact, on the ballot, it said it said Emilio Martinez. Mm-hmm. I usually go by J. Emilio Martinez when I'm credited for things. And it said Emilio Martinez because I wanted to get the uninformed Latin vote.
Gotcha.
I'm going to vote for that guy because I was the only Hispanic in a list of like 15 names.
Uh-huh.
And then you get a 3-word designation that says who you are. Like what was yours? Did you have yours?
Just probably, I think it was small business owner because I'm a small business owner.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I had a film producer, comedian.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And you have to prove to the state that you're those things. So I sent them my IMDb credits and some video of comedy that I did.
And they approved it?
Yeah, they approved it. So it said Emilio Martinez, film producer, comedian.
So you're state certified
Because I was,
comedian.
I was going also for the comedy vote. All these guys are jokers. Oh, here's this guy. I'll vote for him. He's actually a joker. So.
This guy's actually a clown.
Hey, you both are comedians. You got that in
Yeah.
common.
Yeah. So that's what I did. But I did it because
Well, people on the internet would argue I'm not. So
yeah,
I've done
yeah,
it
that's
once,
right.
but that time I was drinking and I had some liquid courage and
Yeah.
went in the haha and did it.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
freelance real
Yeah.
quick. Yeah.
They're nice over there at the hall.
Very, very nice.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But what I like to call myself on social media is a de-groomer. I'm a de-groomer.
Gotcha. And what does that mean?
Well, our society has been groomed by LGBTQ, which is, a major feature of woke mind virus.
Uh-huh.
So what I like to do is I like to de-groom people. I like to get them off. I like to kill the woke mind virus.
What's one way you do it?
By pointing out that there's no born this way. There's no science to back up born this way.
Oh, there's no gay
Justification.
gene?
There's no gay gene. They've poured millions, perhaps billions of dollars into finding the gay gene.
They're still looking for it.
They're still looking for it. They're
Maybe it's generational sin.
Yeah.
It could be
Could
generational
be.
sin. It
Yeah.
could be
Yeah,
a
there's
spiritual
just-
thing, you
could
know?
be.
There is
too.
no gay gene. The closest they've come up with is this thing called epigenetics that still requires an environmental trigger in order to activate the gene.
What about glyphosate?
What's glyphosate?
Glyphosate is what
that's
they
the stuff that
spray.
turns the
they
frogs
spray
gay.
our-
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, it turns the frogs gay.
Yes,
says,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Alex Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think RFK Jr. was talking about it too. But I think
It's lowering testosterone. they
It
were
is
saying.
lowering
It is,
testosterone.
yeah. Humans aren't frogs, though.
From a lot of the
So that's-
studies
that's
that I've
part of
seen,
it.
it's actually pretty dark. Because a lot of the, I think 75% of the people, and they stopped doing these studies as soon as the Born This Way thing
Right.
started. But 75% of the people who identify as gay or LGBT adjacent had some sort of childhood sexual trauma.
Right,
that
exactly.
happened.
So even that is environmental, like the glyphosate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nature
Is
over nurture.
environmental.
Or nurture. That's nurture over nature.
Yep.
Yeah, nurture over
Sorry, I was-
nature.
I'm-
Right,
it's
yeah.
backwards.
So even
Yeah.
even if glyphosate is turning, then the solution isn't to hold a pride parade. It's to stop exposing children to glyphosate.
Glyphosate.
Yeah.
Yeah, glyphosate. It's,
Glyphosate.
it's close.
Isn't it glycosine?
I don't know. It's
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But it's just what they spray our,
Yeah.
our vegetables and fruits with, you
It-
know?
it's-
And it's a bug killer. It's
So
a bug
you know,
killer.
yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
thalidomide.
the studies showed that like it was turning frogs.
That was
into-
Syngenta. There was a little bit different thing, but I think it's similar.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
similar because
It's similar?
I just read about it, and it's called glyphosate.
There's so
Glyphosate.
many of them.
Yeah,
Glyphosate.
glyphosate.
Wow.
Yeah, glyphosate.
And I guess it's heavily in wheat. And here I'm making sourdough bread. But I get organic, so I'm hoping that they don't put that kind of pesticide on
Right.
my
But-
organic flour.
But what
Yeah.
the groomers want you to believe is that like a child is born in the wrong body. It's like I like to ask, like, where do gay babies come from? Because they should just be like
And why
like
is
a
it
mommy and a
always like-
daddy get together, and then there's like the genes that they have, and and the baby has blue eyes.
Yeah, like is a
and-
gay gene like recessive? Like
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Well,
The
the
this is
majority of
gene
the
is recessive,
humanity has a
yeah.
recessive.
Well,
gay
you can
gene.
see these people clearly grooming their kids at a
Yeah.
very young age. I mean, look at this Jazz Jennings, from
Yeah.
I Am Jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was a major grooming, and I felt bad for that young man. And the mother was like trying to make him stick this thing, and you could tell he didn't want to do it anymore. And
Yeah.
it just was like total child abuse. What these parents did to this young man.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
young
in the
boy,
future,
really, because it was young. He was young when he started.
Yeah.
Right,
on the
exactly.
hormone blockers and
Well,
stuff.
here's the deal: we get groomed a lot through media.
Mm-hmm.
I realized how even I had been groomed through media, and so I work in the media. I worked in TV, broadcasting. I'm a member of the Producers Guild now.
Mhm.
It's not like I've worked on great films, but the PGA said I worked on films. Real films. So there you go.
You're
But now-
PGA accredited now.
Yeah, I'm
You're
PGA.
state certified, PGA
I'm state
accredited.
There you
certified.
go, there you
I'm
go.
Hollywood approved. So, but I want to work on a real film called The Chloe Cole Movie.
Okay.
That I see is a de-grooming story.
And explain who Chloe Cole is.
Chloe Cole is the face of the detransitioner movement. She was 13 when she went on puberty blockers and hormone treatments, 15 when she got a double mastectomy. During COVID lockdowns, when other people couldn't get life-saving surgery, they gave her life-saving surgery, and they used scare tactics to get her parents to go along with it, saying, do you want a live son or a dead daughter? And she wasn't suicidal at the time, but she became suicidal after they took away her breasts.
Mm-hmm.
And she realized that was like a permanent, like say it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
So, and then she started speaking out. And like I say, she's become the face of it because I know this because both the LA Times and the New York Times have done hit pieces on her.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah,
it's
Here
crazy.
they caused this young girl to have her breasts removed. We don't know if she could even have babies anymore. So
Yeah,
she's
she
already
doesn't even
been
know.
through so much
Trauma.
and then the media, because they're so heavily funded by big pharma, they're going to go after this young lady that has the courage to stand up for herself and for others, to tell the truth, so this doesn't happen to anybody else.
And it's
it makes
something-
me so sad.
It's horrific what's going on and what she went through, but she came through, and she's a real story of resurrection and redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to tell stories like that because those stories give hope to the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I love detrans stories specifically because detrans stories are like a vaccine against woke mind virus.
Yeah.
Once you hear them, you're like, the woke mind virus starts dying in your body. So
Is Clementine
it's the good
in there?
vaccine.
Is she one of the people in your film or no?
She's no, she's
Because
not.
I
Well,
saw the video at UCLA and she was thanking the guy for
Yeah. I think she talked to a guy named Billboard Chris.
Uh-huh.
So, and he happened to be doing his thing at UCLA, and she came up. See, this is the deal: is that the detransitioners are among us. They're more popular than the trans people would like to admit.
Yeah,
They always say they don't exist. I'm like,
The trans people on Reddit will say it's like a marginal percentage of them that detransition.
so
They'll say
weird.
it's like 1%, but when you actually look at it, it's far greater, especially the younger they transition, the more they detrans later in life.
See, well, this is part of the grooming, is that they groom trans by saying trans people have always been here, and you'll say, well, they're only 1%, and then, well, they can't be marginalized. They're a minority, right? And then they turn around and do that same. They use the same bully tactics that are used against them, or that they perceive as bully tactics against them, and then they apply them to the detransitioners.
Yeah.
Well, they're only 1%, and they're not real. There's no such thing as a detransitioner.
I think the greatest, statistic that shows that the whole movement is just one big gaslight. Is there's this whole argument that's usually made about how it helps people get through their mental health struggles. The suicide rate doesn't go down after you transition.
Actually, it's gone
it
up.
Yeah. After a few
Because
months,
once you butcher yourself, you're now not only are you broken spiritually, you're broken physically.
yeah,
Yeah, something
you've
recently,
done something permanent. Yeah.
right? And something I know we're still in the introduction phase here of the show.
Yeah, eventually we'll have
But
to
we'll
get to
actually
that.
get to the meat of the show. But no, but this is really interesting though, is the fact that part of the de-grooming that I've really sifted through recently with my conversations with trans people online. It took me a while to put this together. And so I'm assuming most of the normies haven't put it together, is that they have flipped the meaning of gender dysphoria. It used to mean that gender dysphoria meant you had a mental illness in which you thought you were born in the wrong body. And the cure for that was to have your physical align with your mental state so that it would calm you down. What they flipped it to now is that you were born in your wrong. It's the belief that you are in the wrong body is not a mental illness. What the mental illness is a discomfort with the fact that you are trans. So trans is healthy.
Oh, wow. That's
Trans
so
is
crazy.
healthy, and gender dysphoria means that you're not accepting your transgender.
Wow.
Your transgender identity. And so that's where the term gender affirming care comes in.
Yeah. I've said this so many times, and I'm going to turn on the air conditioner in a minute, not high, so it gets freezing. I'll turn it.
Okay.
But I've said this so many times that the left as a movement is just, it's a mastery of constant inversion of morality.
Yes, inversion completely.
So
Exactly.
they get everything, they invert it. Even morality that they establish as like the new morality of the day, they then grab it and just invert
they'll
it.
Can I tell
invert it,
you the
yeah.
main thing that I've had to experience the last couple days while I'm canvassing
Yeah.
is I'll call someone sweetheart. Don't effing call me sweetheart.
Really?
So they'll swear at me, and here I'm giving them an endearment.
Yeah.
So talk about flip
Right,
flop.
exactly.
I'm saying a sweet word to you, trying to calm you down and be nurturing, and you're swearing at me. So this happened on another show I did.
Yeah.
Dr. Daff, I think that's called Dr. Daff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
And this girl is like, something like, basically, it's like it was a swear word on her shirt. Now I'm for some reason I'm blanking out on what it said, but it's saying that only pretty girls are on the left, like we're ugly on the right. So and it had a swear word on it, and this is what she's wearing on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yet she got mad at me for calling her sweetheart.
Yeah.
I know. It's like you're
crazy.
absolutely.
And then
yeah.
she's swearing again. She swore about something else. Like,
Right.
that is the opposite because swearing is the devil's language. And I used to do it a lot. And again, I was on the left in a way. I was a Democrat. I wouldn't say far left because I would never treat people the way that these far left treat people. I would like what I went through today where people are saying mean things to me.
Yeah.
You don't even know me. You're getting your information from a news media that benefits off of us being in turmoil here in California.
There's a level of dehumanization that they need so they can justify their moral position. They're like, well, these people aren't human. They aren't real. It goes along with like calling us fascists or Nazis or they have to believe that we're not equal to them.
No,
so
it's like
their position is justified.
It's like 1984, where war is peace.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, we got a little sidetracked.
Okay, we got a little.
Okay.
I know.
Let's get to the meat of it.
That's why I
intros
say,
are done.
Okay.
Well, now we'll go back to Shiva. So tell us about your specific discussion with Luke. How that went. There were a few different moments that he was just straight up gaslighting you and just lying and making stuff up. So let's talk about that.
You know what? I came in there really nice, saying that I loved his name because it was biblical.
Yeah.
And good looking guy. I was trying to come there with a very nurturing, motherly, energy. First I said, it's hard for me to answer a question that there's a lie in the question, I forgot what was the question. Something about democracy. And
Oh, yeah.
I
Here,
really
I'll look it up for you.
I'm literally triggered by the word democracy because we are not a democracy. None of our founding fathers ever called us a democracy.
Wasn't it Donald Trump is a threat to democracy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Trump
it.
is an authoritarian who's a threat to democracy.
Well,
Yeah.
and I hope that he's a threat to democracy because I want democracy to die in the darkness. I'm just saying. Okay, because
Shiva.
I just want to read because I printed this up because it was really annoying that word democracy. I actually, like a leftist, I get triggered when I hear the word democracy. It triggers me because
Well, the term has been bastardized, but we'll get to that in a minute. Say what you have in your notes.
okay. I have to put my glasses on because
Do your thing.
I'm
you
an older lady.
did play a boomer.
Yes, I am a boomer.
Well, you're not a boomer,
so
but
John
she played
Adams,
one.
Okay, in an 1814 letter to John Taylor, said, "Democracy never lasts. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself." We got Thomas Jefferson. A democracy is nothing more than mob rule. where 51% of the people may take away the rights of the other 49, which I mentioned. You know, I said, you know, the 51% could want to kill the 49%, you know? Benjamin Franklin was saying famously, a republic, if you can keep it, you know, and we need morality, and that's why they removed the Bibles in the 1960s. And Alexander Hamilton, we are now forming a republic, not a democracy, literally saying it in those words. So I'm just saying. Okay.
No, you're 100% right. And it was kind of, as an audience member watching that discussion, was kind of infuriating to see that either he was purposely misunderstanding what you were saying, or he just didn't know. Which America's a constitutional republic, and democracy is just the method that we use to elect our leaders. And even then, it's not a full democracy because we have the electoral college, like you brought up. So democracy is just the mechanism, and Democrats have completely bastardized the conversation around this because they benefit from calling it a democracy because they're the
like a
Democrats.
Democrat, yes.
That's why they call themselves Democratic. I never call them Democratic because they're not Democratic at all. They're Democrats. That's it.
Exactly.
So,
well, I don't even like the word because if you chop it up with Latin, demo means demon. Crat means crate.
So,
it's like demons in a crate.
Demons crate.
And they seem like demons in a crate. They're you know, they're in the shackles
That's
of
so good.
You know, they're in
demons.
the Democrat shackles of Satan. You know, get out of the Democrat crate.
That's straight from the Greek. No, I'm kidding.
That's so good. That's good. I mean, I've seen the Alec Jones demon rats and all the other ones that he calls
the
them.
demon rats.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, how did you feel like his attitude was towards you in that discussion? Did you
he
feel
was
like
a major talk blocker.
You know, what's that?
That means like when I'm saying something, he had to block it like because I called her Kamala.
Yeah.
And they always say the same thing. It's almost like they have a hive-mind mentality and no original thought in their brain.
Yeah.
Do you know what
He
I
was
said?
interrupting cow.
It's Kamala, Kamala, whatever it is. I don't care. I'm going to call her whatever I want. Okay? This is a woman that when she was Attorney General of California protected pedophile priests, and she concealed evidence that would have protected these people and they would have gotten justice, which is a felony.
Yeah.
When you're concealing evidence, that is obstruction of justice. She should be in jail, but nobody's above the law, they always say. But apparently Democrat politicians are and illegal aliens are. So.
No, and she also had something very controversial, the truancy laws and the way she chose to enforce it. Wasn't there a specific case of a mother whose daughter was
sickle cell anemia.
Had sickle cell anemia, and she couldn't go to school. The mother got arrested because the daughter didn't.
Because the school doesn't get the money.
Yeah.
So it's all about the Benjamins, baby. But then they go, they always say, we're against the elite. Kamala Harris is the elite.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom is the elite. George Soros is the elite. These people are so, it's Stockholm syndrome to me.
Yeah.
So, that was a little frustrating. Lori Mills and I were both getting really annoyed with him talk blocking us, and then, when they go, oh, I don't care about that. It doesn't matter what you care about. This is a conversation. I get to talk about what I care about, and you get to talk about what you care about. And I would listen to him, but he kept talk blocking, especially when it came to, I said, how is it a democracy anyway when there's no voter ID?
Yeah.
Basically, the only way they want an actual democracy is when they can control the narrative. Like they control our radio stations, our media. And I tell people, turn off the big pharma-funded corporate government-run media and read the bills. That's how you're going to know what's going on in your state. Read the freaking bills,
Yeah. The voter ID point was such a good point, too, because like in California, we don't have any voter ID. You can go in and you can vote, and they don't even verify your signature.
And I know 2 cases where people told me fraud happened.
Yeah.
So one of my ex-boyfriend's mother went into Simi Valley voting polling place. And she's like, it says that I already voted. So she made a big stink. And other people were like, yeah, that just happened to me. That just happened to me. It was overwhelmingly. Why? Because Simi Valley is mostly red. So, of course, that's the voter fraud is going to happen majorly in red districts,
Yeah.
And then my neighbor across the way, she worked at a polling station, and she said that one day, 1/3 of the people that came in said that, someone had voted for them. So she gave him a provisional ballot, made a report with the FBI. And she also said the weird thing is these people were all Republicans and they also changed their party preference to no party preference.
Wow.
So they actually changed their
So they
party
removed
too.
Hey, I
Interesting.
have a question.
Yeah.
I want to clarify something. So, we got an extra ballot in our mail for my
Just
son.
recently?
Yeah, for my son
For the special election
for
for
the
Prop
special
50?
election for Prop 50, and it's for my son. He's currently residing in Colorado, but I'm thinking of filling it out and depositing it for him.
Don't
in
do
his
it because
behalf.
that's voter fraud.
I know, but I think Sunny Hostin on The View did it for her son when he was away at college.
Oh, that's what she said she did?
Yeah, she talked about it on
Oh
The
my
View.
gosh.
So I was thinking about maybe doing that, and I just wanted to kind of double check. That's cool, right?
That's fraud. Yeah. I mean,
that's fraud.
Is that fraud?
It's fraud. It's similar
Yes.
to when that woman
Wasn't
got.
that just
That's
like an
what's
extra?
happening, but that's what they do.
That's exactly
the
what's
thing
happening.
No, but
yeah.
wasn't that just like an extra ballot that kind of showed up that I get to fill out?
I mean, if he's registered in Colorado, then he can't
he has to
legally
be
vote here.
registered in one of the
Wait,
states.
wait.
You can't
If he's
register in
registered,
multiple
if
states.
he's registered in Colorado, why is he? Why is
'Cause
he?
Well,
California
because
why
they
is he
don't
getting
clean
a-
up their voter rolls, and this is why we're getting the ID initiative, hopefully on the ballot in 2026.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist. I think I'll trust the registrar.
Well, it's very interesting because just a few weeks ago, there was a case of this woman who registered a golden retriever for the Gavin Newsom recall, and then she got that ballot voted, and then I think the election following that too got a ballot and voted on behalf of our golden retriever. There are a lot of instances of that. There was a golden retriever just a few weeks ago. There was this guy who got a ballot for him and his wife, and then this woman who had died 30 years ago. It was delivered to us.
See,
And
that's
then-
a free ballot. I
Well,
mean, I consider
But
that
that's,
just
turned
like
it into-
that's
free.
what they're doing. That's how dead people are doing it. And remember, Doge found all of these people on the DMV and
Yep.
all this stuff. That,
motor voters.
Yes. Or they were getting, Medicare or Medicaid or something like that.
I think the more
Yeah.
people who can vote, the better. So that's the more people.
See that
who
more
can-
Democrats get into office,
Right.
eh?
So the more ballots, that means because democracy is
Yeah.
Mob rule.
it's,
So bringing it back to democracy.
right. Yeah. Bringing it back to democracy. So I'm actually trying to be anti-authoritarian.
Yeah, as the
and
saying
have
goes,
more ballots.
as Hugo Chavez famously said, whoever counts the votes wins the votes. So Democrats have made sure that they do that in
count the
California.
votes.
Yeah.
Well, I had the weirdest thing happen today because this lady told me she was a poll watcher and she said, yes, there's massive fraud. And I said, well, then you would most likely want to sign my voter ID initiative to be put, not mine, but, you know, Carl DeMaio's voter ID initiative to be put on the ballot in 2026. She goes, oh, no. Definitely not. I'm like, in what world do we live in?
so she knows there's fraud and there's fraud and she doesn't want to fix it.
She thinks that that's the fraud is if we have to show our ID. I don't get these people. Like, see, they literally have cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
If CNN told them that drinking urine was good for them,
Yeah.
or if Donald Trump said drinking urine is bad for you,
They would drink it.
they would drink
And
it.
just like they did with
the
the Tylenol.
Yeah,
So
the Tylenol.
You
I
had
mean-
pregnant ladies taking Tylenol to prove a point.
and killed herself and her baby, right? Or she was on.
I'm not surprised. Was there a case like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
think there was something going on around social
Yeah,
media.
I saw that there was a surge. There was a trend on TikTok for pregnant women to take Tylenol to stick
To
it to Trump.
disprove, yeah.
And then there was a rise in women going to the hospital for Tylenol use. But so I'm not surprised if one actually did pass away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, they said that one, she overdosed or something on it and that she was in the hospital.
yeah.
Like, why? Why? You know what's so
so
funny
silly.
is when we were trying to tell people about these bioweapon shots,
Yeah.
the C-19 ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, people were like, oh, I'm going to take them all. I'm going to take to prove a point, you're going to go and kill yourself. Like, I mean, we're trying to save your life. Like, the irony in all this. Like,
Yeah.
we're fighting for your life more than you're fighting for your life. Like, it was so bizarre.
Yeah, some people get so petty about this stuff that they go and harm themselves. It's like it's literally cut your nose to spite your face type
Well,
stuff.
it's a Stockholm syndrome. Once
Yeah.
again, I keep telling people, people voting Democrat in California have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
They love being abused. I mean, we are one of the 4 highest tax states in the country. We have the highest gas tax. And I'm like, we didn't even have water in our reservoirs during the fires. We were funding these NGOs that are destroying our state.
Yeah.
What do you need to see? What about the train? How much have we spent on that? And there's not even a track laid.
Well, here we're living a real life Walking Dead here, because these people have the woke mind virus, and they're literally walking around like zombies. Like,
and I sang that at a No Kings rally. It's in your head, zombie,
yeah,
because
that's
it
a
is.
good one. Yeah.
All they do is like ding, ding. I said more cowbell, because this guy kept doing the cowbell. I mean, and what's sad is these 2 mothers, okay, they're lesbian couple mothers, and I have been so nice to these people. Their daughter was best friends with my kid, and I've never been mean to them. He's like flicking me off and so angry. And it was like weird to see these people that have been so nice to you. I've never been mean to them. My daughter's been so nice to her daughter, and them acting like this. Like, you're allowing the media to make you into a hateful, mean person.
That's why I say, going back to the thing about the vaccine, it's detransitioners are a vaccine to woke mind virus. That's it's almost like you're triggering an immune response in them because it's an existential threat.
Yeah.
When they're like, I like this, it's a cognitive dissonance. I like this person. I have a relationship with this person. Oh my, they believe something that is like going to antithetical to existence.
Well, I think
So
also
they
think that
can't
we
exist
hate
anymore.
all homosexual people too, which is not true. I mean, Carl DeMaio, the guy that's doing the effort to No on 50 and the ID Initiative, which I was canvassing for, is a homosexual man.
All right, I'm putting them on my radar for de-grooming.
I'm not, you're so funny. But so it's not about DEI. I look at, what are you doing? What are your actions? Because there's a lot of people that call themselves Christians, and they do nothing.
Yeah.
They do zip
that's
zilch.
that's a serious problem.
They do
here.
zip zilch.
Well, let's wrap up then your Luke experience. Anything
Okay.
else you want to add to
Well,
it?
then I talk about January 6th because, January 6th.
He did bring that up. That's something that people love to do on the left, right? But how did he bring it up?
I didn't know did I bring it up or did he?
I think he brought it up.
And because I was saying how, they.
Yeah, because that if I remember right, that was like his underlying premise was that Trump was authoritarian because he. Oh yeah, that's right. He kept on saying he refused to acknowledge the results of the election, and then everybody that went up against him said he passed the reins to Biden on January.
He left the White House.
No.
Yes.
But he needed to say the words, I accept the election. It's like, no, he doesn't. I wanted to tell
Well,
him,
also,
like,
too, he said, go peacefully and patriotically
He did.
to the Capitol. Never did he say, go and destroy property.
And you know what they did after that? After he said that?
They took it off of Twitter.
They literally deleted it from Twitter and banned him from every social media platform.
Yes. Well, that's what they do to me, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think even on
Well,
YouTube, when I looked at my comments,
Yeah.
nobody's commenting. Nobody's liking. I think I'm completely shadow banned on YouTube.
I mean,
so
conservatives.
I have no voice to
So-
fight back when
to-
somebody's saying something about me.
to just reassure you, on TikTok, they're banning conservatives. On YouTube, they were banning conservatives up until like 22, 23, and then they got exposed along with all those lawsuits. With
all the Biden stuff.
Well,
right?
yeah, Facebook got sued, and there was a lawsuit that showed a lot of the behind the scenes talk happening with Facebook, and the Biden DOJ was telling Facebook specifically ban this person, ban that person. Same thing with Twitter. Elon Musk revealed all that. Same thing with YouTube. So, but YouTube changed their policy to kind of fly above the radar.
Well, I think I'm still shadow
get up-
So from that time, I never had it
So
restored.
what I'm trying to tell you is that they went from banning people to just shadow banning them.
Okay.
And so if you're conservative and you're talking, so unless you're like Tim Pool or you're like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro, you won't get any traffic. They let the big conservative influencers stay up there because that's plausible deniability for them.
Yeah.
So they get to have the appearance, oh, these people can thrive on our platform, but nobody else can. You look on the left, you can be whatever size you are, your video gets recommended, it goes out, everybody sees it, you get interactions. On the right, total opposite. And it goes a step further where there was a case like about a week or so ago. So you guys remember that the YR chats, the Young Republicans chat in New York that leaked? So a lot of Democrats, a lot of leftists were covering that story, and they were writing Young Republicans chat or whatever, they were writing Republicans in the title. And they all noticed, it was like all of them together noticed, wait, if I write Republican in my title and talk about Republicans, my video doesn't get suggested?
There you go.
So they saw the throttle.
Yeah, David Pakman, a specific leftist, he tweeted about it later, deleted the tweet because I guess somebody told him, "Hey, it's because
don't tell
let
our
the cat out of the bag."
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's a real thing. That's why it's important to have Rumble. And look, if I would suggest I'm shadow banned on YouTube as well. I'm banned on TikTok. I'm banned on X, which is unrelated to my views, but TikTok and YouTube is related to my point of view. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, they're all great for conservatives. They let you exist and they let your content not be throttled. So that's what I would say. Just focus on wherever they let us.
Who knew that Mark
Rumble.
Zuckerberg would be the guy?
To be fair, it's always been like that. Like the Daily Wire has always been bigger on Facebook than they have been even on YouTube. So a lot of conservatives have always had a lot of traction, and I think that they realize this, and they're like, oh, we're not going to kill all that ad money that we make off of these guys. So, they let that ecosystem exist because they know there's money in it. YouTube is more ideological. Like I've met YouTube and Google engineers. They're all extreme far leftists. They don't care. Just go back and think about the election. What happened during the election, right? When you would look up on Google, you look up, how do I go vote for Kamala Harris? The nearest precinct would come up. When you looked up, how do I go vote for Donald Trump? Nothing would come up but photos of Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah.
And they got called out on it, then they fixed it.
You want to hear something funny? Is when, Biden got installed, because we know that was total, voter fraud happening. When he got installed, I saw that there was very few likes, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden it just jumped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Are you saying there was a 3 a.m. dump of likes?
And then I saw the likes of President Trump, and I screenshot it. And then I saw that it was diminished.
Yeah.
They took out the likes. So that's how they're brainwashing people too, is they can bring up and down the likes.
They can.
Wow.
Yeah. They can
And I think
100%
they do
control
that
it.
on Threads. Remember that new thing, Threads?
Yeah.
I've been seeing that, why does this person have hundreds of likes, but all the comments are negative?
Yeah, they do it. They pump content. So TikTok was doing this for a while too. That's what caused YouTube to do it as well for a while. But they were they were, especially during the pandemic when everybody was at home, they were letting anything go viral. And they were pumping the content out there. And people that were, sometimes just at home in their kitchen, filmed one TikTok, got 50 million views.
Yeah, there was a big surge of new conservative faces.
Yeah, off of that.
Yeah.
And then they all got banned. I know Pearl Davis got banned 7 different times before she made her YouTube channel and started,
I got banned from doing a dance to Ice Ice Baby, thanking Ice for taking care of business.
They banned you?
They banned me, and then I started another account.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, why do you have all these accounts? I said, because I keep getting banned.
On TikTok, right?
And everything. I keep getting banned, so I keep putting a new account out.
I would say enjoy it while you can, because I'm at a point where I made an account with my first and last name, no picture, no content, got banned within a day. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
On TikTok, right?
TikTok, yeah.
Wow.
So
It'll
get to that point eventually.
Wow.
And one of these leftist influencers was making fun of my dance. It's pretty funny. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
His horse tail and everything. He's wearing something similar to me. It is actually kind of funny though. I have to laugh when it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish the January 6th stuff. So
Okay.
we don't remember who brought it up, but it was
brought up, and
yeah,
here
if
we
I remember
know,
right, yeah, he
and
brought
here
it
I
up.
had 4 close friends that were jailed, from the January 6th Federection, let's call it a Federection, because it was false flagged, and they found out just recently there was
been proven.
how many feds were there?
Between
Something
210
like
and
250,
250.
something like that.
That's a lot.
Chip Roy had the hearing. So yeah.
Okay, and then did they ever find that Ray Epps, was he part of the deep state government? I mean, the guy who kept telling everybody to go inside the Capitol, and he didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
But then Brandon Strucka, who didn't go inside, and they lied and said that he grabbed the shield. He actually released his own video footage finally after all of that harassment, and showed that he was like far away from the guy that had the shield.
Yeah.
But they were threatening him. They were saying, you're going to spend all this time in prison if you don't take responsibility for something you didn't do. So, I mean, what they were doing, the mind games that they were playing with these January 6ers, but what my point was with him was these Antifa, they dress up like us. And when I did my rallies, they had a detective from the Beverly Hills Police Department that was assigned to me. And he showed me from the Antifa website that they're going to be dressing like us, to beware. And that's why he was there, to watch over me, because they're going to dress like us, and he didn't want anything to happen to me. And which is really lovely that the Beverly Hills Police Department actually cares about law and order and protecting one of their citizens that live in their city. Unlike Los Angeles, which is chaotic. Yeah. And I got arrested.
Well, it's run by Karen Bass. So
well, there you go.
Shiva, I have a confession. I'm the Fed that's assigned to you.
You're hilarious. And the thing is he was like, it is misinformation. So you're telling me that the Beverly Hills Police Department is giving me misinformation, because once I put it on Facebook, they tagged it as misinformation. I literally got it from law enforcement.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's misinformation. This is how ridiculous these people are.
Yeah, and you can even cite that, they won't believe it. They'll believe whatever serves their narrative. That's why it often feels like they've been brainwashed to a degree that it's beyond the point of actually finding a middle ground or conversation. It's just like they're so invested in like our side is right in their little Marxist revolution that they just like lose all rationality.
No, yeah, like he was perseverating on that whole like I said, he was Trump never. What's the word? He never conceded the election. He never conceded the election. That's what made him an authoritarian.
Leaving the White House is a concession.
Exactly.
That's what everybody said. It's leaving, and then I was like, did you not read? Like your name is Luke. You've read the Bible, right? Yeah. So have you never read the parable of the workers? That, you know, Jesus said there were some workers that went to they said they would go to the field and they didn't. And then there were ones that said they weren't going to go to the field, but then later on they did. And Jesus said, which one did the work of the kingdom, right? Yeah. And it was the ones that they didn't, they said they weren't, but actually went and did it. Yeah. So it was like, I mean, according to this parable of Jesus, Trump actually conceded the election. Yeah. So he was actually acting like the workers of the kingdom.
And remember, the Democrats kept complaining when Trump got in, oh, he was not, he was not the president. It was, it was voter fraud. They were screaming voter fraud. And I'm like,
they were starting
Democrat
that up.
run states that don't need an ID to vote.
They were starting that up in 2024. Yeah, they started it up in like last December. They were saying all that stuff.
They've become the election deniers.
Yeah, they were the election deniers. So it's democracy hypocrisy.
Yeah. Is there anything else from your discussion with him that I think that was it, right?
Well, it's just the fact that he talked over me when I'm talking. So I had to just keep talking. Because I wouldn't be able to get it out. There
was also an aspect of, you mentioned that none of the January 6th folks got due process, and he didn't even want to acknowledge that.
Of course.
For him, it was righteous that they got all arrested and were just held in jail.
Yeah. For so long.
2-3 years? Yeah. Right? Like, imagine that. You're literally a political prisoner.
We have friends that were actually like in prison for 2 years. You know?
Think about it. The guy breaking the window of the Capitol, not in jail. Edward Battalion taking him off the Capitol, in jail. In jail. And then you see video, finally, someone like Tucker, though I'm not okay with Tucker and the whole anti-Jew thing. I'm not I don't agree with
That's
him.
a whole other episode.
That's all. Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
will
a
say
Tucker fan.
that I really, really liked the fact that he showed the video where the police were just letting people in and opening up doors for him, and even that guy with the horns.
Yeah.
He was like thanking the police for doing that. I'm glad that was shown to millions and millions of people, because I think people finally understood what really happened on January 6th. And 4 people died that day.
Yeah.
And they were patriots. Where was this in the media that these 4 people were murdered?
Wait, I know Ashley Babbitt was murdered. Who were the other ones?
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to get it out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but you're right. The QAnon shaman, what's his name? Jacob.
Oh yeah, he got the worst of it because he was so
No, I don't think he went to prison as long as some of these others.
he went to prison. He was like a year and a half.
Yeah, but like Edward Badalian,
it was a less than just shy of a year with Edward.
with Edward. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. But,
there were guys that were doing stuff that were
But it's
much less.
And they always revert to that one specific shot of people throwing stuff. There's 2 or 3 Capitol, officers at the top. It's this turnabout door. That's what they always focus on. They don't look at the rest of the situation. That was what, like 10, 20 people that confrontation happened. We don't know the full context of that. We know there were federal agents in the middle. We don't know what they were doing specifically to this day. Nobody has said anything. We don't know how,
and there's that fake bomb scare. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, we don't know who started that confrontation. For some reason, there's most of the footage that was filmed on cell phones is of just that. You don't see people being led into the Capitol. You don't see anything else. You see just that It's almost like that part was planned so that everything else that happened and anybody else that went in there could be justified as in, oh, they were violent too,
Oh, yeah. And these are the other people. Roseanne Boylan, Benjamin Phillips, Kevin Greason. They were not mentioned that they were murdered that day.
How were they murdered?
One, you just see this. I think it was Roseanne Boylan just getting beaten up by a cop.
Wow.
Yeah. She was like, you could see it. And they're like trying to move this woman away from her.
Yeah.
And she wasn't breathing and she died. So this was straight up murder.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think, they were doing projectiles and probably hitting somebody. And so I'm not sure about these 2, but I know there was 4 people that died that day that were patriots that got murdered that day, and no media covered that. None.
And I think it's important too to look at what was actually happening inside the Capitol as this stuff was happening, and not just looking at the people walking in. You see what Nancy Pelosi was doing. And when you watch the footage of her and Chuck Schumer in the back watching the footage, and then her in the car, the fact that she knew the day before that Trump was going to hold a rally, Trump requested more security. She denied it. Right. So, I mean, there's some aspect of collusion there that has to be looked at.
Well, look at Dr. Simone Gold. There was supposed to be a stage right in front of the Capitol that was built. They didn't do it. And she was supposed to speak at that.
Yeah.
So this was a total setup.
Yeah.
This was a complete false flag federation. And they've done it over and over. Look at Wolverine Watchmen. That same thing happened where they saw these white guys that were gun-toting white guys that liked their Second Amendment rights, and they lived in Michigan, and they wanted to make it look like, Governor Whitmore was, a victim, right? Because she was one of the 4 governors that signed an executive order to put COVID-positive patients into nursing homes, and 1/3 of the people that died were in what?
Nursing homes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had to make her look like a victim. So, look over here, don't look at that. Look at this. They wanted to kidnap. And it was all deep state government. That's why these guys from Wolverine Watchmen were let off, because they found out that they were infiltrated by feds or federal contractors.
I saw one of these guys talk about his experience. He was like, I didn't even know where I was going. Yeah. Like they just like dropped us off there. I was like, what are we even doing here?
All right, here let's go back to the thing with
Luke.
With Luke, yeah.
Yes.
See, Luke's claims.
Yeah.
I thought they were very poorly constructed claims because they like that whole thing about authoritarianism, and then again, his basic premise was he was still upset that 4 years ago Donald Trump didn't concede the election, and that was proof he was a tyrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so he goes through, and now he's reelected, you know, but. And then now we're relitigating January 6th. January 6th is over.
Yeah.
The election's over. That was like 2 elections ago. All the January 6th people are pardoned. So it's not even in the courts anymore. They're not going to be pulling that playbook ever again. The Democrats are not going to be pulling that ever. Just like
I don't know
COVID.
about
Why?
that.
They're never
Do you
going.
think that Luke-
They're never going to do another COVID. They're not.
Well, they know that it didn't
They
work
can't.
out.
Yeah.
It didn't work
Well, they
out so
can't.
well.
They-
for
Well,
them.
they gotta try to do
they tried
something
it.
else.
They're going to
Yes.
try something else. So
Maybe an alien invasion or something.
I
Wouldn't be
put,
surprised.
I would not put it
They
past
all
them.
just open up. They're all lizards. Just unzip. They supposedly
I
They
would-
were like Z, or what was that V, that show V, where they were all lizard people?
Yeah, exactly. That was my favorite show in the 80s. So, exactly. It was like they want us to relitigate that stuff. Like sometimes I will catch myself talking about COVID and then getting worked up again about COVID and talking about COVID. And I'm like, hold on.
It's over.
It's over. It's over.
But we can never forget their tyranny. We can never forget their tyranny.
Right. But so this is where movies are important, because movies recapture the narrative. They preserve the narrative so that we don't forget. That's why, even though it's 2025, we still have movies about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Because there's that narrative of never again, never forget, you know? And so it's like,
Because if we don't know history, we're bound to repeat
we're
it.
bound to repeat it, right? But it's
And that's why the left
Right,
wants
but
to get
that's-
rid of statues, because they want
Right.
to change history.
but that's different than somebody going
That's
like,
what radical Islam does too.
They want to
They
rewrite
get
it.
rid of artifacts and stuff. They don't want you to know
Right.
about the real Bible. They want you to just bow down to Islam.
mean,
you know,
right? But that's something, you know.
They wanna
but
act-
that's why even like all the perseverance on Nazis is like they're trying to just take us and grab us back. You know, it's like before the Nazis, people used to perseverate on Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon's the most evil guy in the world. You're a Napoleon. You're a little. And now we consider Napoleon like a funny little character who
drank his own urine.
Yeah, drank his own urine and runs
Did
around
he?
like
Yeah.
he
runs
must be a
around like
liberal. No, just kidding.
yeah, and you know, runs around with his hand in his jacket, you know. So, and he was short.
He was one of
and-
the Freemasons. No, you know, 'cause
right,
they
exactly.
did it.
They want to. So all of his claims were they were all constructed that way. That it's like stuff you can't really prove. It was like maybe like a thought experiment at the most.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
A lot of them,
and it was all editorializing and opinion. It was just it was like meme based or debate.
yeah,
that's what it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was meme based debate. You know, when you say something and then you can take a meme and you can slap it on and like, oh, dude, and like, dude, you're just simply telling me your reaction to what I said. You're not actually refuting my argument.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he did a lot.
Because
He
I
did
can
that a lot.
Because
Yeah.
I can use the same meme to tell you that you're stupid, right?
Yeah.
But
I
that's
can
their
use-
tactics,
yeah.
is gaslighting. That's why I wonder if they actually believe what they say, or they just want to be right. Like
It's about winning for them.
It's about winning, right?
Yeah. It's not even about being right. They just want to win. About being right isn't a pathway to winning. It's just winning.
Yeah. Winning to them is not truth. Winning to them is like with the trans issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. They just want the right to be
And they'll
trans.
and they'll
That's what they want.
exactly.
So they don't care. Yeah. So that's winning for them. Whereas
And they'll
on-
change the conversation so it matches their argument.
Right. So
that's
they-
why I think somebody mentioned in there said that, well, your question's already wrong from the premise. Right? I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it was
That
either
was
one
me.
of, that was you?
Yeah, I said, how do you argue when the question itself is a lie?
Yeah.
You know, kind of like you're against women's rights. No, I'm for women's rights, and I'm for the babies that could become women's rights.
Right. Yeah. There was a
You
lot
know?
of begging the question.
So that's a lie. If you're saying women's rights, you're lying. Because women's rights, I want a right to be a mother. I want a right to bring in a baby into this world because it is the blessing, the most amazing blessing God can give me.
Yeah.
And I always tell my daughter, you are the greatest gift that God ever gave me.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there was like a lot of like begging the question,
Well,
like, "Hey, Senator, how often do you beat your wife?"
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, so you don't acknowledge you beat your wife?
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's go to your section then.
So my section was
you went towards the end.
So I went in the last round. His claim number 4 was that Kamala Harris would have been a better president than Donald Trump, which is it's like, hey, dude, that's not a premise for an actual service.
Yeah.
That, you know what that is? That's a cool premise for like some alt history channel.
Yes.
Right, yeah. Like like some YouTube alt history. What if Kamala Harris had won the 2024 election? Because it's completely unprovable.
Yes.
It's just a way to discuss other actual issues. But it has no practical value. It's got no actual kind of like
there's no
meat to
data
it. There's
behind
no
it.
data behind it. There's
The only way you could actually argue that is if you got her vice presidential record, which is atrocious, and then you compared it to Trump's first term, which was
her as an attorney general and how awful she was as attorney general.
Again, it's
or
like,
even as a senator.
It's like
but Trump, in just you could also just get it from the sense of like Trump's first 4 years and the amount of good change that he was capable of doing versus the amount of time she spent in government, 30 years and nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
well,
to show for it.
that was the thing. That's why
arresting parents,
it's all hypothetical.
protecting pedophiles.
I did not even want to acknowledge his argument because he could have just said, "Hey, he could have said my claim is America would have been better if the South had won the Civil War."
The Dixiecrats.
Really?
The racist Dixiecrats.
No, but really, it's like, yeah, and if the Nazis had won World War, again, great fodder for an alt history YouTube channel.
Yes.
But not for an actual debate about current issues.
Yes.
Correct.
Other than to elucidate issues that we're dealing through, right?
Yeah.
So I sat down and I did have my Freedom T-shirt on, right?
Yeah.
So I had my Freedom T-shirt.
Your cosplay.
Yeah, my cosplay.
You're in character.
Well, see, I knew I wanted to stand out, right? Because
you did. I saw you behind him the whole time.
Yeah, I wanted to stand out because I'm trying to get traction for this D-Trans Hollywood thing that I'm doing, where I have a whole lineup of D-Trans documentaries or documentaries about detransitioners.
Yeah.
And the capstone event is we're doing a screening of Charlie Kirk's only feature film that he ever executive produced.
And when's that? That's with Cheyenne, right?
Yeah, it's at Ambassador Auditorium on November 9th. So that's November 9th, 2025 for people that are watching
what
this.
What time
in
is
the
it?
year.
How can they get tickets?
It'll be 5:30 p.m. They can go to dtranshollywood.com. Again, if you see this video after November 9th, then just know that this took place in the past. But still, go to Daily Wire Plus and you can see the film, or you can see it for free at my screening on November 9th, 2025, because we're doing it as a fundraiser
for your movie.
For a movie, not a documentary, about Chloe Cole.
He's a culture warrior. That's all he
He's
can do.
He's a culture warrior.
He can just argue those specific points to get any more specific about any sort of policy, anything related to government outside of the scope of the culture. He can't talk about it. And you see that his most viral moment debating was with Tim Pool, where Tim Pool destroyed him.
Destroyed
what
him,
did- what
right?
did he say?
Well,
What did- what did Tim Pool
yeah.
say?
What did
I don't even
Tim Pool
remember,
say?
but it was like
Yeah, if you go to
two
the
specific clips.
if you go to the comments on the Jubilee
Yeah.
socials,
Are people referring to that?
yeah, it's like every other third comment is,
There was
oh, that
something
guy,
about
that guy
Kamala.
got destroyed by Tim Pool.
Yeah,
But
it's
I want to
something
know
about
what it
Kamala.
is. Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that he doesn't. You can tell he doesn't have lived experience.
No, he just has
So
these
he just-
talking points
he's
that
got
come from the
talking
Democrat
points.
Party.
Well,
Probably.
that's what I'm saying.
got
It's
talking
like a
points.
hive mind mentality. They regurgitate the things that they heard, and nothing is really of an independent thought process. It's like they're
Yeah.
programmed, like a machine,
And it's
to say
even-
the same things.
And it's even worse with these Democrat influencers because I saw that Harry Sisson was brought up a couple times. He's been exposed for getting talking points directly from
the DNC,
the
yeah.
DNC,
Yeah,
and
there you
doing
go.
it. And then people will pair up his videos, and word for word, other people will be doing the exact same videos. So
Yeah, they're playing a game of mimetic.
Yeah.
They've completely removed the dialectic. They don't
Exactly.
want to have a conversation. They just want to have a meme war.
Well, this is
So-
the thing too. You notice all of us, we all have very independent thought process there. We're not saying the same things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
we
exactly.
have different
It's like-
perspectives.
Yeah, we all have. We're
they're not
all
allowed
very
to.
independent, but this is why we fight a lot too.
Yeah.
In the Republican Party, because we're so independent, and like our founding fathers, I guess they used to fight a lot too. Because we are so independent and have independent thought, it's harder for us to be as cohesive as the left. The left are just programmed.
No,
you
no.
know?
In fact,
Marching
let
orders.
me
They
point.
create a consensus around absurd policies and ideas that they champion purely for the sake of expanding their power. That's all that it is. They find another power grab, just like with Prop 50, just like with Kamala Harris. You look at the week before she was announced, everybody was like, no, she's an awful candidate. She could never. As soon as she was announced, it's like a switch went off in their brain. Everybody's like marching orders.
She's the best.
She's the best. Oh,
Yes,
so
I know.
great.
I know exactly.
No, but well, exactly. It's very mimetic, and that's why I like the whole blue, no matter who, that kind of thing. So like here, we'll give you like that's a good example that you brought up. Like one of the ongoing conversations that Shiva and I have, she does not like to use the word detrans because she says they didn't trans in the first place.
Yes.
And then I
They
use
butchered.
it right, yeah, and I use it for more practical purposes to say, well, it's based on the concept of transitioning, right? Which I don't believe they've had a medical transition. Their gender didn't trans, but they did have some work done, so to speak. So they're unpacking that. So it's like, see, there's a nuance in this conversation that we have going back and forth. But like for my project that I'm doing, D-Trans Hollywood, I like the double entendre of D-Trans Hollywood because when people are like, well, are you saying take the trans out of Hollywood? I'm pulling my plausible deniability. And of course, I'm pulling the curtain back on that by saying this. But yeah, I like the plausible deniability of going, no, I'm talking about D-Trans in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But really, I'm saying D-Trans Hollywood. So there you go. I said the quiet part out loud.
There was a moment where you mentioned DEI, and then what happened
so
afterwards?
I mentioned the DEI. So I said I've got to grab the reins of this conversation.
And he lost it when you said DEI.
He lost it, and then
There was another moment after that. I remember that was like that he got like really triggered.
Well, he
by.
kept on saying I wasn't addressing his point.
And what was it? The Kamala Harris would have been a better
Kamala Harris
president.
would have been. I'm like, why am I going to address a stupid point? Why am I going to do that? I leaned into the whole DEI thing because back in 2020, I noticed that Joe Biden, when he won the South Carolina primary,
that
I
was one
mentioned
thing you
that it was
mentioned,
a
the
test.
Stacey Abrams versus
It
Kamala
was
Harris.
Stacey Abrams versus Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris had dropped out before the Iowa caucus. She couldn't get
She's
funding.
the first candidate to drop out.
She was the first. She was not. Nobody in the Democratic Party liked her. So
He's a very unlikable person.
very unlikable
Well, that
person.
cackling.
Yeah.
I mean, who can
So-
handle the cackling?
So
It's
I
awful.
was,
It's awful.
and obviously in
It's like
2020,
something in a nightmare.
obviously
Yeah,
in
we got-
2024 they couldn't get behind her either.
Yeah.
So and it was like, why didn't you choose Stacey Abrams? She was just as viable a candidate.
She's
Of
also
course-
very unlikable.
no.
Exactly.
Is there
But-
any likable
No,
Democrats
but here's
running
the deal.
for any big offices?
from
Not
their-
to me.
Here's the
No.
deal. From their
Katie
perspective.
Porter is nasty.
Yeah.
Right. But from the you have to think from their perspective.
Well, they're nasty, so maybe they look in the mirror and they're like, "Oh, I like nasty people
mean,
because she's just like me."
no.
part of the reason why-
But
part of the reason-
from their perspective, go
Part
ahead.
of the reason why Newsom is doing so well now is because, according to the polling, Democrats wanted somebody who was going to attack Trump. The moment he started doing that, he started going up in the polls. So you're
Oh, the
a lot.
TDS.
Yeah. No, your whole thing about being nasty makes sense in that sense. They
Okay.
wanted somebody, but I don't want to derail
Okay.
back to
No, but
what-
the
yeah.
truth is, frankly, I said, well, I know why they didn't pick Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
She's fat.
You didn't
No,
say that.
But they love
I
fat
didn't- I-
people. They
no,
want people
no,
to be
no, no,
unhealthy.
no,
They
no.
want a poster child
No.
of fat people.
No, they don't.
Because they want them to eat all this stuff and take more drugs and
No. They say they like fat people, but they put Lizzo as a great person, but they also know the low information voter won't vote for a fat person.
Yeah, they were also trying to give the whole country Ozempic a few months ago.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They also know that Stacey Abrams
probably because it's going to kill them off or something.
This was part of my
population control.
This was part of my subtext too in
Yeah.
in bringing up Stacey Abrams. Is Luke? Why don't you admit the fact that Stacey Abrams was not selected because she's actually too black?
That's true.
See,
Kamala's light skin.
Kamala is like Obama.
Yeah.
She's and that it's not that they're too black for the average American. They're too black for these white, uptight liberals
Yeah.
that are a key demographic of the Democratic Party.
And they are really
They-
racist.
They are very
Yeah.
racist, and they look
are.
down. They look down at just regular black people. These are the same people who say we need to make sure that black people, that black people are able to vote even though they can't get driver's licenses.
That's what I was saying. I was just
Yeah.
about to say that.
Yeah, these are the
They
people
say
that are
they're
like
too stupid
you
to
know-
get an ID.
right,
Yeah.
and then you've seen
that's
the
really white supremacy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're back to white
we've
supremacy.
seen-
The Dixiecrats are still alive.
They
no,
are,
exactly. We've seen the videos where they're like, they go and they ask the white liberals, like, what do you think about black people? And well, I guess we need to give them the internet. And then they go to black people and they're like,
I like this one guy that was like a black guy and he pretended to be like a gorilla, like with the internet, because he's like making fun of how
Yes.
how
Yeah,
Democrats
exactly.
see him.
Yes.
He's like this, like
No,
knocking on
yeah.
it,
He was like
yeah,
tapping on the thing, and he's
yeah,
like
it was,
banging
it was
the
really
laptop.
funny. It was
Yeah,
really
that
funny.
was really funny. Yeah, exactly. So they know that Stacey Abrams would not have appealed to that upper crust, soccer mom.
Yeah.
The six-figure soccer mom living in the
Who has a
suburbs.
subscription to the New Yorker.
Yeah, he's got a subscription to the
Or
New
not the
Yorker
ones-
and
not the-
watches The View.
But-
Yes.
Like she likes Whoopi.
Yeah.
She likes
She
Whoopi
likes
because Whoopi's funny. But she likes Sunny Hostin better because Sunny is more like us. And
Yeah.
she's,
Yeah, and
So-
Sunny, by the way, lives in an all-white neighborhood.
yeah,
according to her
exactly.
saying.
They love
Yeah.
so that was the truth about Stacey Abrams. So I knew that, and then so that's why I leaned into like, why didn't they pick Bernie Sanders? That would have been a good unity ticket.
Yeah.
that would have healed a lot of. They wouldn't have had to They wouldn't have had to make such a big deal.
He was just too
with
calming.
COVID.
He was too calming for them. Like he's
Yeah.
like, people know that he's a full blown
Well,
communist.
yeah, he's bad for the corporate globalist interests in the Democratic Party
Well,
that run the
didn't-
George Soros party, right?
Didn't Joe Biden make a promise? This is what you were getting to, I assume, in South Carolina. It was during one of the debates. He said, I will choose a black woman as my vice
I
presidential
know
candidate.
that's DEI.
Yeah.
That's,
So that's
not the
DEI.
best person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly DEI. So
Yeah.
I actually made a little meme back then, and I mentioned it in the debate with Luke. And it said, I looked it up today, my tweet here. Let's see. Let me pull up I photoshopped it here.
What do you got there? Is that an In-N-Out sale?
yeah, it
$4 burgers?
No. Here we go. It literally said, like, here it is. I ordered yard signs now that Joe Biden 2020 has all but wrapped up the nomination. And it says Biden and TBD Black Lady 2020.
To be decided black lady.
TBD Black Lady 2020.
Show it to your camera.
There you go.
Oh my
I'll
gosh,
send that to you.
that's hilarious.
Biden and TBD Black Lady. See it? See, what's the date there? 3/13/20. So I knew from back then that they were like going to be just inserting a DI. So I'm like, literally on the job description, it says black female.
Yeah.
Unless you are casting in Hollywood for the part of a black female, it's illegal to put on a job description black female.
The race and the
Right,
gender
the race,
and
the gender and everything.
Because
right,
that's why you're choosing the person. He didn't say, I'm going to choose the most qualified person.
Yeah.
I'm just going to choose a black lady.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, even recently, like Kamala, she was asked about, why didn't you pick Pete Buttigieg? And she said, well, he was gay.
He was too gay.
He was too gay. Here's the deal, is that, again,
gosh.
Yeah, she did say that.
Oh my gosh.
These people are so driven by
Identity.
identitarian politics and everything that they project full like racism and sexism and all that onto their opponents.
Yeah.
If you have a problem knowing whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black. Remember Biden?
Joe
I know,
Biden
Biden said that.
Yeah, he had just said that
And he
as
said
well.
an N-word on the Senate floor, and he said that busing black children into
Did he
predominantly
actually do
white
that?
schools, it would
was
cause a
so
racial
racist.
jungle. He did the eulogy for Robert Byrd, the former Cyclops of the KKK.
Him and Hillary Clinton did that.
Oh my gosh, they are the most racist presidents. Thank God Hillary was never a president.
Yeah.
Almost president.
Racist party there is.
Yeah, they are the
founded
most racist party. And saying black people are too stupid to have these ideas. Like, how did the black community not get this? And remember Obama, when he went in to Flint, Michigan, pretending to drink the water. Oh, just use a filter. And it was President Trump's EPA that fixed the pipes in Flint, Michigan. So they weren't getting poisoned.
Yeah.
And then you got Fauci going over there, to a black community, trying to get them to take the jibby jab.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I
come
know, and they
on,
were all
people,
about
come on.
the Tuskegee. Yeah. So so here's the deal.
Wake up.
When you're doing these rapid back and forth debates, you don't get to have an actual discussion even about the issues like we're having right now. Like I haven't been able to go in depth. The thing is that Kamala was not a DEI hire to get the black vote. Biden already secured the black vote. Why?
She was to get the
Why?
white lady vote.
It was to get the white lady vote.
Yeah.
It was to get the virtue signaling. I feel good.
White liberal woman.
I feel great.
It's the first, whatever.
It's the first. You know what we get? They're no different than those ladies in those, in those Southern novels about the white racist lady.
Yeah.
Who's like, we get to give the colored folk their first colored vice president. That's what I was telling. Right? Yeah. So really, it's like they are so racist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That these DEI standards that they put out there are for white people to feel good about being white.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't realize. So again, it was not for the black vote. He had already secured the black vote because he was
And
black
people
Obama's
weren't going to vote
VP.
for Kamala, to be honest with you.
They weren't going to vote for. They weren't
No.
going to vote for Bernie.
Because she called herself Indian for a long time until then all of a
That
sudden
was
she's black.
It was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They weren't
she was
gonna-
Indian,
She's
now
not-
she's black.
They
Well,
weren't going to
you know.
vote for Pete. They weren't going to vote for Pete Buttigieg. Actually, black people would have probably voted for Stacey Abrams
Probably, yeah.
more than Kamala.
But she's too black for the white woman.
But she's too black for that white liberal woman. She doesn't want Stacey bringing in her collard greens into the house. And no, of course. So
Okay.
so I leaned into that, right? And then he kept on like dragging the thing, saying like, "What does that have to do? What is that? You're not making the thing." So I said, "Now I've got to like take it up a level too. I've got to just like, I got to."
At what point
I
did you
was
get to
going
the
for that
foxhole?
viral, huh?
At what point did you get to the foxhole thing?
Well, I said I gotta circle back on what he's saying, like because he wanted to just make it about like this theoretical version of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, so we can't argue policy. We can't argue anything about that because we won't have that. So it has to be simply a character issue.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, that kind of popped into my head of like, like, what is the character difference? And, and then that's when it popped in my head. Well, it was the Patriot. His other claim was about what is MAGAs are not patriotic.
Patriots. Yeah, we're not patriotic.
Which again,
Yeah,
we don't burn the flag. They do.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but here it's like you have to. First of all, you got to define what MAGA is. It's a wide coalition.
Yeah.
And then you have to define what a patriot is, which is also has all kinds of different definitions. Excuse me. So it's a completely irrational, unprovable argument because there are MAGAs who are unpatriotic.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, I would say a lot of people who are criticizing the woke right now would say that the woke right, even though they're part of MAGA, are unpatriotic. Right? So see.
What do you mean woke right?
Woke right are the people you're talking like when you mentioned earlier about Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's not woke. It's not woke. I wouldn't call that woke. I would just call that, they don't understand radical Islam. My family fled it. We know exactly what it is. We know what they were doing to the children at school, raising them to hate America and hate Israel.
Right. But not to get too distracted on that. But I'm just saying that whole conversation.
That's not woke.
No.
It's a segment of the internet that calls them woke.
That whole conversation about why.
I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah. So that whole conversation. Actually, you should have watched those woke right podcasts that me and Jordan Henry did with.
Okay.
He debated with Jordan for hours on
Jordan who?
Jordan
Henry.
Oh,
He ran for
okay, Jordan.
right.
Okay,
Jordan Henry.
So are you woke right? Are you considered?
I would be considered woke right.
And I guess I'm not.
No, Tucker Carlson.
Once again, we don't agree on this.
Tucker Carlson is considered woke right.
And not to say that I'm bowing down to their government because I believe all governments have a deep state inside them. The wokeness has spread throughout the world and it's in everywhere. We let radical Islam, into our country. They let radical Islam into their country and in their government as well.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. Look up Filipini, by the way. Guys, look up Filipini. He exposed what was going on in our country. They were investigating him because he knew too much, but that was his job, was to investigate radical Islamic groups. And so instead of going after these people that were sleeper cells in our country, they were investigating Filipini.
Yeah.
And they said he killed himself.
Absolutely. Like the radical Islam is a total problem.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying about the DEI thing, though. So with the what was I saying? I was saying about the
foxhole thing.
Right, the foxhole. So I said, defining what a patriot is. So again, like patriots, like some people would say woke right aren't patriots. That's as much as I would disagree with that, that's a more nuanced conversation that has, like, when James Lindsay says that, he actually brings some more facts and some more arguments to it and some more definitions to it, right? Than Luke Beasley was saying with MAGA. So that really irked me. So I said, well, I'm going to pull in the patriot thing because I wanted to argue that one better.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to. So I brought that in, and then he got twerked. He was like, "Oh, you're bringing that in?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, you guys were just talking about it like 5 minutes ago. What? I can't bring it in." So I was basically saying, "Hey, you know what? I wished I would have argued that one too, so I'm going to argue it now."
I like that.
So I said, "Let's define what a patriot is," right? And I said that. And then in that moment, I asked myself, and the other guy that was on there, the guy from Ohio that quoted Thomas Jefferson, he really said it. He reminded me that, it's that Thomas Jefferson quote about how from time to time, the republic needs to be what is it? I'm horrible with these quotes.
Well, there was
it needs to be fed with the blood, blood of patriots. And there's that same idea in the church that the blood of the martyrs is like the nutrient of the church, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's important that blood is spilled, right? It's a very Christian concept as well, because it's like Christ on the cross, the blood of the Lamb.
They were willing to do that to fight tyranny.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they say don't They have that flag with the snake.
Yeah.
Don't tread on me.
Yeah, don't tread on me. So it's this idea of the blood of the lamb, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, that's what, all this like flashed in my head in a moment. So I said, okay, that's what it is it's you're willing to die for your country. You're willing to spill your blood for your country, just like a true martyr is somebody who is willing to spill their blood for their faith, right?
Like Charlie Kirk.
Right. Like Charlie Kirk, right. So that's it. I saw
Modern
it all
day
started
Stephen.
tying in my
Modern day
mind.
Stephen.
It all started absolutely, and it all started tying together in my mind with that. And then, so I said to him, "Now I'm gonna like punch, like lean in with a good punch on him." And so I said, let's define what a patriot is, because that's going to separate the wheat from the chaff with Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk and Kamala Harris.
So all of these are usually done. The person who's sitting there doesn't have notes. I noticed that he had notes next to him.
Like he
No,
gets
you can
to,
have
he,
notes, yeah.
He gets to have the questions, but we don't know what the questions are. So how can we have notes for it?
No, like even the speaker.
He gets to be prepared, and we're not prepared.
From every single one that I've seen, the speaker never has notes with them to reference on the desk.
Oh, okay.
You can go back and watch the other ones. None of them. Patrick Bet-David, Charlie Kirk, Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro. None of them had notes next to them on the table.
Well, he probably had his talking points from
His
people
DNC
that,
talking points.
Yeah,
his,
exactly. Straight up from
his,
the DNC.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Come to think of it, maybe that's why he got so upset with me, because I completely derailed his talking points.
Yeah. Did you guys get a chance to see what he had on his notes, or?
No, we
glance
didn't
or
notice.
anything?
Everything runs so fast in there.
I need
you
his
know,
security, so like I would have liked to talk to him in breaks, but he
He had security there with him?
When he went to the bathroom, we had to turn our backs.
Jesus.
I know.
So strange.
I know.
I mean, they're acting like you guys are terrorists or
And
something.
No, it's not
they're
that
more
bad. It's not
violent
that
than
bad.
they're the violent
They're
ones.
the violent ones.
No, I mean, to be
we might
fair,
bake them a cake or something.
Yeah, to be
or
fair.
neighborly.
Give them diabetes.
to be fair, when they have conservatives on the show, they do the same thing.
They do the
right?
same thing.
Well, obviously, because they're the talent. They're like the talent, and we're the
extras.
We're the background. See, in fact, I was the background player that day. Here, let me give you some of my good background moves that I did behind the Luke
Oh
Beasley.
yeah, do it. Oh yeah. Mm.
Were you thinking about those
I had
expressions?
to keep that up for like 4 hours.
Were you thinking about those expressions as you did it?
No, I just realized oh my gosh, they put me I actually, because of my Freedom t-shirt, they put me on the camera behind there. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to now emote for the next 4 hours. I won't be able to check out or something. I'll have to be like,
That is hilarious.
what?
Okay, now the last clip, because they had you
Yeah.
just close out the episode. Tell us about that. You started telling us.
Yeah, so afterwards they asked me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of figured I was going to be like a viral moment for them, because they asked me specifically about that.
Yeah.
And then they asked a bunch of other questions, and I had a whole lot more interesting answers, I thought. But I see how they wanted to come back full circle and ask me who would you want to be in a foxhole with?
And who did you choose again?
Well, here, let me
It was
tell you.
Jimmy Carter
let me
and
tell
there was
you-
somebody else.
Yeah, let me tell you. It said Jimmy Carter, JFK,
Yeah.
not LBJ. That guy's crazy. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I'm really trying hard to think. And then they go, yeah, is there anybody who's current? This wasn't in the tape. And I go, is there anybody who is current? And I went, Jimmy Dory, maybe?
Jimmy Dory?
Oh my god.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be fun to hang out with.
He'd be drinking whiskey back
Yeah,
there. with you.
exactly. We'd just be kicking it, and we just he'd be making me laugh.
And you wouldn't have Big Mike back there?
No,
Michelle
no
Obama.
Big Mike.
Michelle Obama.
No, we'd be fighting about the D-trans stuff. No,
You'd be looking down and comparing who's bigger.
Yeah, no Big Mike.
was like this and
No, but
this, like,
let me tell you
this one or that one.
No. Now that you bring that up, let me bring up one of my favorite comments. So now I've been like commenting on the social media, right?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite comments, if I can pat myself on the shoulder on this,
Yes.
one, or on my own back. Somebody was going like, I would rather have Kamala in the foxhole with me, and I was like, bro, she's not going to sleep with you.
Willie Brown,
Yeah.
yes.
I said, Willie Brown,
Married man,
you
yes.
ain't no Willie Brown.
Yes. Because she wanted to go up the political ladder and
Oh,
You
that
know?
was one of the other issues that when we wrapped up, like guys, people like the other MAGA boomers, who, by the way, most of us, like I'm older than you and I'm not a boomer. So they had a tough time finding some actual boomers to come in. They're kind of rare now.
Yeah.
But but they were going like, how come you didn't bring up the Willie Brown thing? And I'm like, well, I kind of wanted to, but I didn't want to like go full. You know, that's like going like full Candace.
Oh, yeah.
You never go full Candace. You
Yeah.
know, you never go full Candace.
I wouldn't give her that credit, okay?
So yeah, so I didn't want to
wouldn't
go
give
like
her-
full Candace on the thing with bringing up Willie Brown. So I just kind of alluded to it.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, like, oh, she did favors for people.
You did allude to it.
I alluded to
Yeah.
it. You know, you do have to have a little class on these things. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
The overall impressions of Luke then, for anything that you guys feel like got left out from the show?
He's
or?
just typical. Like it's like almost like a cookie cutter of
Yeah.
a leftist young man.
Yeah.
Like he says the same things. There's nothing very original, and that's what's sad. I feel like they're just, you know, the media or whatever is just producing the universities are producing these like cookie cutter people.
Well, can't think.
Yes, they can't think
No,
logically and can't have the same talking points in their head.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a DEI podcaster. He's a reverse DEI podcaster because the Democrats are having such problems with young men.
Yeah.
It's like they're like, oh my gosh, can you get some? Please get some blonde, young, liberal men to casting, please.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Like, put some money behind this
Yeah,
guy.
put some money. Harry Sisson, you're hired. Yeah, Destiny. Okay, you're a little too weird. You, Luke, beautiful,
You
beautiful.
said the N-word a bunch of times.
Get him into makeup.
Well,
yeah.
remember, you know, AOC was cast out of
Yeah.
10,000 people. You know, the Democrat Socialists wanted to find the face of the Democrat Socialist Party.
Yeah.
So they hired AOC.
And I mean, even right now in New York, Zara Mamdani is like a fifth-rate actor, a
Oh
failed
my
actor
gosh.
who, you know, his mom is like a movie director. He's, you know, so they're all,
I know,
They're all
just
like
like
them.
Zelensky,
yeah.
you know?
Zelensky, so yeah.
Zelensky from
Well,
Ukraine.
hey guys, I could fall into that category. Failed.
Well, I could too.
Oh, I could
actually.
fall into that
We could
category
all
too. We all
actually,
fall into that
but
category.
That's
we're
what,
we're actually not being hired though. We
Yeah.
are doing it on
We're
our
not
own.
really-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, you know,
that's
we're-
what the Glendale extremists rated me, I think.
These young, when he's not a kid, but this young man is emotional. Everything's always an emotional thing. Just for me saying her name wrong, it triggers them emotionally because they're told, "Oh, how dare she say her name wrong?"
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
yeah.
like whatever, you know.
And then he
Yeah.
mispronounced
But
her
they
name
can,
a
but
few
they can
times
cuss us
did.
himself.
out.
I
They
mean-
can cuss us out and call us Nazis.
did.
And
Rules for thee,
hinged.
not for me. But thank you guys so much. If you guys want to
No,
just
thank
take
you
a,
for having us on here.
it's
Yeah,
great to
thank
talk
you.
about this stuff. If you want to take a moment right now and just look at each of your cameras, Emilio is the one on the right. Shiva's on the left over there.
Okay.
And look at your angles and then how people can find you online. Let's start with
Starting
Shiva.
with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Shiva Bagheri. You can find me on Insta. Shiva for Justice, not the number 4, but FOR Justice. So please follow me on there. Or I have 2 accounts on Facebook, and it's spelled Bagheri is my last name. So Shiva is spelled SHIV as in Victor A, not Shiba, the cat food. And Bagheri, BAGHER, her, because I'm a her, and I at the end. So there you go.
Yeah. Emilio?
Yeah, and on my socials, I am the Emilio Show. As I said at the beginning, this is just me in regular day life.
You're
But
in
I'm a
BTS
walking-
mode right now.
Yes, I'm in BTS mode. I'm a walking show. So anyway, it's called the Emilio Show on X, Instagram, Facebook, I'm just me. So you'll have to friend me though. But yeah, so I'm working on the Chloe Cole movie. So you can go to thechloecolemovie.com. And currently I have a series called dtranshollywood.com that's co-produced with 180 Shift. And I think our last one is in November, but I think we're also going to be continuing this series of detransitionary documentaries. We have had a lot of interest in it. A lot of people are getting their awareness raised of this very important issue. And so we're going to be continuing to do these kind of events throughout the election season.
Yeah. Shiva, how can they find out about your rally, Beverly Hills Freedom Rally?
Beverly Hills Freedom Rally, you can actually sign up, bhfreedomrally.org. You can also find out, I always post the flyers on my Insta. So just look at my Insta. It's always pinned. And we have one going on the 31st. I don't know when this is going to be out.
This Wednesday.
Okay, this Wednesday. And guess who's one of my guests?
Oh, yeah. I'm speaking at the next one.
Dennis
There you go.
Feitosa.
Yeah. Dennis Feitosa.
Feitosa.
Will be one of my speakers. And we have Evelyn Sky Jones.
Yes.
And we have Ariel.
From the Turning Point UCLA.
Yeah, she's the president of Turning Point USA. So at UCLA, so it's amazing.
Yeah, and we're gonna
and dress up.
We're gonna help grow that Turning Point chapter the same way we did with the GCC.
Good.
So we want to blow those guys out because when we first went there, they were just getting organized GCC, and they went to like 30 people.
One
they blew up to about 30
meeting.
people.
Where's
meeting.
JCC?
GCC, that's Glendale Community College.
Oh, I was wondering what GCC was. Thank you.
Yeah.
We go out tabling at colleges, and then the young people show up.
Well, you were going to UCLA a lot too.
Yeah, well, UCLA is walking distance from one of my clients. So
yeah,
but I've been taking on more work lately, and I need to get paid because my rent just went up.
Oh,
yeah.
So,
well, if we're out at UCLA, we'll let you know because we're probably gonna go out there to help
let's
them.
do some stuff. Let's do some stuff together.
Yeah. So you guys could probably see us around town. If not, follow them. Make sure to check out what they're doing. And you guys are both in other videos that Jubilee is doing too, right?
Well, I'm going to.
So we're actually going to be on other Jubilee shows. We can't talk about it. But so just keep an eye out for a couple of MAGA LA radicals. I always like to say MAGA. No, LA is the apocalypse now of MAGA because we're really in the thick of it here.
It's MAGA country.
You
guys are radical, dude.
Yeah, we're so radical.
Well, you know what? I noticed
actually my friend got me a hat. I got to give a shout out to Nancy. Gave me a hat that says radical. It's black and it says radical on it.
Well, I remember when radical was like a cool thing.
Cool, right?
Radical, dude.
Yes. I noticed we're all just a little shell shocked because we're mainly like former Democrats and liberals, and we're all just like walking around, kind of like with the scars of being being woke, and so.
Well, thank you so much, guys. This was great.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.